100% blackout. That's exactly what I want to have.
Hi everybody, welcome back to our van build series. I am Mike and this is Sir Cedric, our 1988 Mercedes T1 Bremer, which we currently convert into an Overlander camper van. This time we want to make the curtains, and the curtains in our case have two purposes. First one is to add a bit of a decorative touch to get a little bit more cozy atmosphere in the van, but this is of course very subjective and up to personal taste. Second, and that's probably of general interest, we want to have blinds which are absolutely light proof. So we can do stealth camping in the city with all lights on in the van, and still it should be completely dark for anyone on the road who just passes by. It's quite cheap and easy to produce such blinds DIY yourself, and today I want to show you how we do it, and we just spend about €5 in material per window. If we bought all of the blinds factory produced for our van, that would be about €500, so you can definitely save so much money doing that yourself. For the blackout blinds we will use small magnets to attach them to the window frames, and I think this is by far the best method if you do not want to have any permanent fittings even at daytime, and if you want to have blinds which are really light proof and you don't have any light shining through at the edges when you have the blinds closed. In this video I will show you the perfect fabric to achieve a total blackout, and that is this fabric here, and that's even very cheap to buy. But first we start with a decorative curtain. That is the one between the cabin and the living room, some kind of partition, and that doesn't need to be a blackout, it's just a little bit of screen at daytime. And for that one we found this fabric here on Amazon, which I like really a lot. It's a bit boho style. I think it perfectly fits in the van. And the big question now is, how can we mount this curtain without ruining our nice ceiling design with an ugly curtain rail?
I think this is the solution, IKEA Dignitet. And it's a stainless steel curtain wire with fitting, and it's just €9. It's stylish but also very reserved and won't distract from the ceiling. All we need to mount the fitting is a strong piece of subframe, which we attach to the van structure with bolts in rivet nuts, my usual concept. With this odd subframe piece we want to hang the curtain, and how we want to do that, we want to use a bolt into the rivet nut of the body of the van, attached here, and then mount the IKEA bracket in this position and have the steel cable across the van. Let's see if it works. I'm not sure, but yeah, at least I want to try. This subframe gets a satin black paint to be less visible. As soon as the paint has dried, we attach the IKEA bracket to the subframe and then bolt the whole unit to the steel frame of the van. That's super solid now and can easily hold the curtain. Last step is then connecting the wire to the brackets.
This IKEA curtain wire looks absolutely stylish, better than I expected. And IKEA also has suitable curtain hooks with a clip. They are called Rigtig and just about €5 per pack. And we just had to cut the curtain to the correct length, and then this job is done already.
Well, of course we didn't just have to cut the curtain, but it also needed some sewing. Thankfully, my mom always offers her help with this kind of work. Is it okay? Ja, ich würde sagen, perfekt. This cut piece of the curtain we will still use later.
The next job are the blackout blinds, and of course most essential for this job is an adequate fabric, and I think I found the perfect one. This one here is from TOLKO Stoffe, and it's just €10 per running meter. That is 1 meter by 1.5 meter. And let's first check how good that really works. I have a flashlight here which is stronger than the light which we have in the van, and if you put that behind the fabric you see nothing, and that's really amazing, isn't it? They have other colors as well on their website, but they are less effective. I tried it with the beige one, and there you can still see a little bit of light coming through. So if you want to have a total blackout, definitely go for the black fabric. And if you now think the black fabric is too boring, no problem, I also do so. But we will use 2 layers. That means we have a black layer on the outside, which looks perfectly stealth and doesn't look like a camper at all. And we have another color. So we use the remaining piece from the curtain here, the one that we cut at the bottom, and we'll use this on the inside. And if you want to check out the blackout fabrics from TOLKO Stoffe, there is a link in the description below. In our case, only the side windows of the cabin have an odd shape, which makes cardboard templates advisable. For the other windows, measuring with the tape measure is good enough. The blinds have to be big enough to reach an area with metal surface, of course, otherwise the magnets wouldn't help much. Now we draft the shape of the blinds on the back of our inner fabric. This way is easier than doing that on the black fabric. Then we cut the fabric with an extra centimeter. The next step is putting this fabric on the blackout fabric and cutting it accordingly. To make the work with the sewing machine easier, we first stitch it by hand. And then my mom joins both pieces by sewing them together with the machine. It's like making a pillowcase. Meanwhile, we prepare the magnets. For our purpose, it's better if the magnets are wrapped in plastic. This makes positioning easier, and it's also an advantage if you later want to wash your blinds, because these magnets can corrode. You can buy magnets wrapped in plastic, but they are 3 times more expensive. If you have a vacuum sealer machine in your kitchen, you can easily save the money and produce the wrapped magnets yourself. These magnets here are only €11 for a pack of 52 pieces. We then position the wrapped magnets around our blinds about every 15 centimeters and attach them with the machine. Finally, we will fold the pocket with the magnet to a position closer to the edge. But before doing that, we turn the pillowcase and let my mom do a second stitching with the machine. Without this second stitching, it still looks like a pillowcase without proper form. But after the second stitching, it has really nice sharp edges like we want to have that. Then we fold and attach the magnet closer to the edge as said before. And the first blackout blind is finished. Now let's see if the blinds fit in the van, and even more important, if the magnets are strong enough to hold their position. Hey, that looks better than I expected. Very strong, very neat. No loose spots, and here we had to cut out a little bit because of the handle. And from outside it looks now totally black and doesn't scream camper van, and from inside I would say it looks bright and cozy. And we will use this fabric only in the living room and not in the driver's cabin, because I don't have enough of that fabric left. But I think for the driver cabin it doesn't matter if it's black. You see, the blinds even hold when we open and close the sliding door, and we have to do that with quite a lot of momentum. That shows the magnets are definitely strong. And now let's close the last blind here in the back. I would say definitely enough light proof, but of course we will test that today in the evening if you can see any light from inside than on the outside. Well, I would say it's a complete blackout. You can definitely not see that there is anyone living inside of the van, and that was exactly what we wanted to have. So I can highly recommend this kind of blackout fabric from TOLKO Stoffe. Of course, you could still add a layer of insulation between the two layers of fabric. We didn't do that because for us that was not so important, but if we think we want to have that anytime in the future, we could still add that. For the windscreen, we make two changes to our concept. The first one is that we do not make a full pillowcase, but we just add this 10 centimeters to hide the magnets, and the reason is we don't want to make this too heavy. And the second thing is, even with this one layer, with the big piece and especially with the it's hanging over, so it's not just straight up like the side windows, but the windscreen is like that, so it has a lot of weight hanging on the magnets. We need bigger magnets. The small ones, they are not strong enough. We tried that, but it was falling off. So we got these big magnets here, which can hold 20 kilos. With them, it's no problem at all anymore. With the stronger magnets, the blackout blind holds without any problems, despite 2 mm of felt, which covers the steel in this area. And yes, it makes a bit of a belly, but we don't mind. That doesn't impair the blackout function at all, and we like this little bit casual look. If you don't want to have that, you would definitely need a second layer of fabric and probably a third layer with a stiffer material inside, but for us that would definitely be too bulky and too heavy. And one important note, we used the small magnets for all the other windows, but it only works if you do not have any felt which covers the frame of your windows. As soon as you have felt, you definitely need stronger magnets, which are a little bit more expensive, but the smaller ones would not work, so better go for the type that we used for the windscreen. Last job is some kind of transparent curtain in the back of the van, which is for daytime use when we lounge on the bed and want to have a bit of screen. And for that we installed a restrained curtain rail up here, and we bought this curtain here on Amazon, which we now have to cut and stitch, but it's a very easy and fast job, and then this is done. Well, enough for this video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, comment and subscribe, and maybe turn on the notification bell that you don't miss the next episode. See you next time.